Hi, Gabe. How are you?
Hi, very well. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Say hi to my co-host, Matt.
Hi there.
Hello, Matt.
Well, hello there.
So can I have the first name of the loved one you'd like to speak with, please?
Carl.
Okay. Was Carl very academic?
I wouldn't know. I don't think so.
Okay. Before we go too far with Carl, how much do you know about Carl? A little, a lot?
A whole lot.
What's that?
Not a ton. I know sort of the statistics of his birth and death and his lineage, but he's about 4 generations back.
All right. Well, I'll do my best. Okay. So you're looking for a great-great-great-great-grandfather.
About 4, yes. So not quite so many great.
Did Carl pass in an unfortunate accident with his work?
I believe that is true.
Thank you. So the reason I say it like that is 2 of the things you said to me is I know about his birth, I know about his death, and I know about his heritage. So one of the things I asked him to show me is how he passed, because it's something you would know about. Okay, and he says he passed in an unfortunate accident through his work. Was there also a train, a railroad, and coal and mining, etc. with him as well?
There was certainly a railroad that's connected there for me.
Yes. Okay. Because I see the railroad, I see the uniform with him. It looks uniform-like. He worked very, very hard. There's an ingenuity about this gentleman. He's very much an ideas man, and there's something about his ideas that helped the railroad be what it is today, yet was not left in recognition of him doing so. Do you understand that?
Yes, I think I do.
Yes, okay. Are you an archivist?
Well, in a sense, yes.
Thank you, because he's telling me you're an archivist. In digging into your own personal heritage and family tree. It's very important to you. And he's using the word archivist with you about your personal lineage. Is that true?
This part of it that is a bigger conversation about archivism in general in our society. That's
Thank you.
Huh.
Okay. This great-great-great-grandfather has a strong sense of pride for what you're doing, because right now you have something going on in your life that you're trying to get noticed into a social stigma. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think so, yeah, definitely.
Yes, okay. He knows about this, okay? And there's a lot of pride with him. He says if you keep pushing and don't give up, don't give up, don't give up, it will come to fruition, just not as soon as you want it to. Do you understand that?
Yeah.
Okay. Do you know, don't tell me the number, but do you know how many children he had?
Not immediately.
All right. And I'm just going to tell you, I feel like it was 6. So he's giving me a 6, and I'm like, oh, tell me the real number. He's like 6, 6, 6. So anyway, so when in your archiving, just look for 6 children, see if you can place those all together, okay?
Yeah, there's definitely 6.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, I have the screensaver kicked on, but yeah, this is definitely 6.
Thank you. Thank you. So with that, I'm going to leave you with that, and thank you so much for calling in. Please know that your grandfather, Carl, is very, very, very proud of the work you're doing. He says it's important to the existence of a lot of things here on Earth, and please don't give up, okay?
Lori, thank you so much. I'm a talker, so doing the listening part is hard for me, and what you're saying is connected to where I'm at in so many ways that I could go on for another an hour with you, like showing you how all of what you've given me connects in incredible detail into what's going on with my life right now. So
well,
I'm really impressed, and I really appreciate the reading. Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. Yes! he's a numbers man. I can tell by his voice if I did do psychic work on him. He's a numbers man. He's a facts man. It's about the numbers and the facts, etc. You know, and I do love the fact that he wasn't necessarily a non-believer as he was. Well, let's see if this is real.
Sure.
You know,
as a historian and archivist, you don't want to surmise too much.
Correct, and I could tell that about him. But yet, his grandfather was a good communicator, and as you heard him say, everything was extremely detailed and dead on. So, and we brought someone back from the 1800s, you know.
Yeah.
So it was interesting. And interestingly enough, you had just asked me that question. So I think that's great, you know. And that is like literally the spirit world working at its best there. So knowing what we need and knowing, you know, wanting the answers to your personal questions. So that's kind of how it works. And he was really... his grandfather is very impressive to me because for a man who lived in those times, he was an ideas man, and he really did have the ability to stand on his own 2 feet and really be a mover and a shaker. Really didn't just kind of get through that era. He really made a difference in that era, and hence his great-great-great-great-grandson is now doing the same. So, yeah.
That's really something, yeah. In an era when patents and intellectual property rights were a little... dustier, shall we say.
Yes.
That's very interesting.
You okay?
I'm kind of blown away by some of this, of course. I've come from a school of very literal thinking, you might say, being somewhat of an academic myself.
Oh, so we made you somewhat speechless and not know what to think.
No, this really is very different, to say the least. Well, the thing, of course, that makes me wonder is if I had this kind of ability, the first thing I would do would be exploit it for personal gain, like lottery numbers or... Do you consult other psychic friends for your readings?
Absolutely. And only the ones that I know are authentic, and I hold people in high standards. So.
Is that a typical quality of most psychics? They cannot read their own destinies?
Correct. Huh. The majority, yes.
That's very interesting.
It's a gift that's meant to help others.
Well, in that case, can you give me the winning lottery number?
Well, I think that goes back to the old saying that money is the root of all evil.
Oh,
and, you know, it's always for the greater good now, isn't it? Although I did do a psychic reading the other day for a lady, and I did see her winning the lottery. And it turned out she had just won the lottery 2 days prior to the reading, and it was, I said 25,000, and it was 2,500. So the numbers were still there, just one too many zeros, and she had just hit the lottery, so that was good. Wow. But I took it as she was going to win the lottery, but she actually had just won the lottery.
Wow.
So,
well, that's kind of interesting. Yeah, I imagine there's a certain degree when you get information, there has to be some amount of fuzziness about some of it. Some of it seems so specific, whereas other bits of it seems like you're attempting to interpret something. Like, do you see imagery, or like the way like when I try and remember a history problem or something, I might actually picture the page in the book where it happened. You know, is it memory like that, where it's semi-visual, but it might be referring to a different medium?
I work on their memory, so I look at their memories as they give me their memories. So it has nothing to do with my memory or my ability to have memory. As I'm looking at them, they give me memory. They'll give me, as you know, their daughter who they're speaking to, you know, that they bought them a pink bike when they were 7. And they'll be like, that's correct, I had a pink bike when I was 7.
Wow.
You know, so it's their memory that I'm working on. Okay, I'm seeing this as a slow film, and I know it's memory. It's practice. It's knowing what you're seeing. It takes practice.
So early on, was that difficult to control? I mean, was it hard
to...
I imagine that would be sort of crazy feeling.
It was like a freight train in my head.
Yeah.
It was like a freight train in my head. The video in my head. It was so fast, and it was so... And if I didn't go to the college, I never would have learned how to slow it down and make sense of what I was seeing in the video or the pictures or the words. Or so it was just like,
Interesting.
I've learned how to slow it down.
So when you pause, it's often not that you're reaching for more information. It's more that you're sifting through the excess.
Exactly. Well said.